Greetings, class, and welcome to Humanology 101. This is our introductory course into the study of the human race. This is a field of xenoanthropology. So, we're studying a primitive species on planet Dirt. That's what they call their planet. At least that's what our translators say. So, their planet is called Dirt. We don't know why. It is covered in water, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's like 70% water. If you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand and I will take them as they come up. So, we're going to be studying some human behavior. We're going to look at different things they do, their overall appearance, things like that. So typically, humans are bipedal, meaning they walk on two legs. They wear coverings of various kinds. They have many, many names for those, but they mostly translate to shirt and pants or skirt. Though skirt can be half of a dress, is kind of half of a dress. And a dress is a full body covering. They also have coveralls. As I said, it gets very complicated. Humans love to wear clothes. They wear so many of them. In fact, they love wearing clothes so much that if people do not wear clothes while in public, they will be in trouble with their local authorities. So, if you ever have a visit where you go to Planet Dirt, make sure that you are fully clothed when using a human disguise. Speaking of human disguises, humans have this innate ability to sense when something is off. They call it uncanny valley. So your human disguise has to be extremely good to pass inspection. Although, humans are also highly skeptical. So while they may call you a lizard person, whether you are or not, simply because you seem off, nothing will happen. Even if they think that you're an alien, nothing will happen. Unless one of the larger governments gets involved, then something may happen, but it's best to avoid those. Anyway, on the topic of humans, another pastime they have is music. So they enjoy sounds with specific cadences, rhythms, tunes, and they do what is called singing, which is a vocalization that is added to the music. They seem to do a lot of this. And it serves many purposes, mostly emotional. It affects their mood. It is used for human mating rituals, in where they attempt to acquire a mate, which they refer to as a spouse, after they enter into a legally binding or religiously binding contract. Sometimes both. Usually both. And before that, they have various stages, and this changes depending on region and culture, again, because they have many different cultures within their one planet. It's fascinating. Their initial one, we're going to focus on the American subgroup, and by American, I do mean the United States of America, which is a country, because they also have a larger subgroup that could technically be referred to as American, because they have the continents of North and South America, along with what is sometimes referred to as a Central American subcontinent, though humans don't really seem to agree on what is and is not a continent, and some of their overall models vary greatly between their education systems. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, the various forms. So they have of relationships. So they have in these phases, they have the talking stage, they have the dating stage, which it begins when they go on a date. Now, a date is it's a ritualistic exercise in which humans get to know each other over a shared activity as a form of bonding. This is frequently over food. In various forms, they may go to an establishment that serves them food for a fee. They may make their own food at their place of dwelling. They may make food at their place of dwelling, put it in a basket, and take it out into the wilderness to share. These are all various forms of activities that they do during this stage. They may go out for a beverage. There are varieties on these beverages. Some are alcoholic, which alcohol is a neurotoxin. Do not ingest that. Humans have different digestive abilities than you do. Don't drink it. There are also they frequently go out for a beverage called coffee. Another one is tea, though coffee is definitely the more common one in the American subculture. And coffee, again, this has what is for them a mild stimulant. It is a drug called caffeine. Again, you're not a human, don't take caffeine. Your pulmonary organ may explode. They will take substantial amounts of it and seem fine. Humans are exceedingly durable, and they get more durable the more duress they're put under, provided they survive that over time. But that is a different topic than what we're covering today. Today we're mostly covering interhuman interactions, if that makes sense. So, humans are, after the dating stage, or instead of the dating stage, they may also have what is called a courtship stage, which is essentially the dating stage, but it's more formal with the stated intent of the explicit intent of marriage, which is generally the point anyway of these relationships. So, marriage being the joint union between the two of the humans is the end goal. And this, again, it varies from culture to culture. It's not unusual for it to last many of their solar cycles. Solar cycle, by the way, is what they refer to as it's one of the ways they chart time. So it's the amount of time it takes for their planet to orbit their star, which is called Sol, one time. So they call this a year or a solar cycle. So it orbits it once. It is similar to the galactic standard cycle. This is a fairly normal practice for most races, but humans especially adhere to this. Actually, speaking of which, their time is broken down. Humans are just fascinating. I could talk about them all day, but you'll hear plenty more about them in this course. And if this is your major, then you'll hear a lot more from me as I teach many more courses than this, and we get to the more advanced stuff. So the way humans measure time, again, solar cycle. Then they also have lunar cycles that are called months. These don't strictly adhere to it. Their calendar is a little off, but it's broken up into 12 lunar cycles. So the way the lunar cycle works is Luna, their moon, orbits the planet as moons do. And over time, the visible face of the moon changes. So it goes from waxing to waning, where it gains brightness until it hits a full moon, and then it wanes until it cannot be seen in the sky when it is a new moon. So this is by which their seasons also abide, and generally they're, depending on what region of the planet you're on, they have different seasons. And then beyond that, they have what are called weeks. So a week, unlike the solar cycle or the lunar cycle, is 7 days. And of course, a day on their planet is about 12 standard galactic norks. But they go by a 24-hour system. So every hour is about a half nork. Now, their weeks are also fascinating. So they're broken up, as I said, into 7 days. And they have what is called the weekend, which is generally a 2-day period, 1 day at the beginning of the week and 1 day at the end of the week. But they are adjacent, so it's the last day of the week and the first day of the next week, which are Saturday and Sunday. Now, again, like I said, this is really fascinating. Their days, unlike their month or their year, are not based on astrological movements. They're actually based on a religion. So their primary religion is Christianity. This is the largest religion. There are many religions. And some of them are growing faster, some of them grow slowly, some of them stay stagnant. But this is from, well, it's not just Christianity. It is also Judaism is the original one that has this base model for their weeks, and then it merged into Christianity, and that uses it, and essentially everybody uses it. Wherein at the beginning of their religious texts, it says that the Creator made everything in the span of a 6-day period, and he rested on the 7th day. That is the only known model that explains why they use a week. And for smaller, remote areas that do not have access to these religions, they don't follow this weekly thing necessarily. Nor do they necessarily use the calendar. Their primary calendar, which is 12 days, or 12 months, sorry, I misspoke, is known as the Gregorian calendar. And that was actually also developed by monks from this Christian, Judeo-Christian religion. It is specifically the Christian one, though. I believe the Catholic subsect, as there are also many branches of that. But I apologize. We've gotten off topic. We're not here to talk about time or religion, though these are many fascinating topics within the humans. Anyway, after they move past the courting stage and the dating stage, depending on where it is, they move into what is called the engagement. Now, this has varying levels of formality depending on which subregion of planet Dirt that you are on, and these can last a highly varying amount of times, anywhere from a few months or even a couple weeks, all the way to a decade, which is 10 of their solar cycles. Or even beyond that, though that is unusual. Half a decade seems to be about a normal process for the American subgroup to go from the initial talking phase all the way to engagement or marriage. So marriage marks the end of the engagement period. Then there's another brief period known as the honeymoon, along with what is called the honeymoon phase, where the humans get very enamored and attached with each other before they begin to spend the rest of, generally speaking, the rest of their lives. Now, this is not always the case. Humans also have what is called divorce, where they separate. This is viewed by them to be an unfortunate outcome. Their goal for the human mating ritual of marriage is to mate for life. That is the point of it. They are also, generally speaking, monogamous. So it's one, another one, and then they mate for life. So the divorce is referred to, is viewed as sort of a failure in the outcome. Either something along the way they did not assess properly, they weren't ready. It's generally viewed as the sad outcome. The best outcome for them is to mate for life, and it seems to be the ideal for them seems to be to die of old age together. Though how close that is to time of death also varies, as humans die from many, many different things, unfortunately. The average lifespan of a human, however, and this is interesting, it is significantly less than the galactic standard, but it is about 75, I believe, of their solar cycles, roughly. So, yeah, that's their romantic dynamic. They have many other interpersonal dynamics. Some are friends. They have best friends. Humans will... they are highly social beings. They enjoy interacting with each other, although they do tend to divide themselves into two categories, introvert and extrovert. Extroverts actively seeking interaction and finding joy in that interaction with other beings, whereas introverts tend to prefer solitude to a greater extent, though even for them, for the most part, they still, in order to maintain a healthy lifestyle, they do need interaction with other humans. And when I do say healthy, I do mean healthy. Humans do better overall when they have some level of interaction with other humans. This has been shown over and over again. This is ideal for their mental health, not necessarily their physical health outright. And it's important to note that their mental health is directly linked to their physical health, though. While their physical health can be directly affected and is frequently, their mental health, when affected, will also affect their physical health. So it's important to keep humans mentally healthy in order to keep them physically healthy. Which, again, very fascinating. So if you have any humans that you come to know and interact with during your studies of Planet Dirt, make sure that you befriend them and treat them well, and help. You want to create solid bonds. Humans are very good at bonding. They will bond with almost anything. Humans domesticated have domesticated many, many animals, including some that they refer to as dogs, which make loud noises but are very loyal and follow them around. They also have cats, which are small and make a noise that for some reason stimulates cell growth. It actually stimulates a healing process. We don't know how that works, but this is also not the study of Earth's cats. Earth is also the name for it. We have been calling it dirt because that is what Earth means, but Earth is the actual, like, pronunciation. That's how it's pronounced in one of the human languages, which is English, which is the primary one spoken in, again, the American subgroup that we've been covering. There is also another name that also means dirt, which is Terra. This is the more scientific term that they use. We've been using dirt because that is its name in its simplest form. Again, we don't know why they call it that. So, are there any questions so far? Any topics that you specifically want us to cover in future lectures? Yeah, I realize that was a lot of info to dump at you all at once. This has been, especially for your first human course. So, this information should be accurate, but again, we're just studying humans from a distance, so it is hard to know. Some of it's accessed from their databases. Their databases are also not always accurate. There's lots of misinformation on their interconnected electronic systems, also known as the internet as they refer to it. And other stuff has been from direct interviews with humans, which are fascinating and always yield very interesting results. But again, some of the information may not be as accurate as we would like. So if you do meet a human and you learn some new information, please bring it forward. The academic community would love to hear about it. Now, one last thing. Humans are never allowed to know what this is. They must never gain knowledge in regards to this. You must never share that information with a human. Is that understood? Okay. It's very, very important that they do not. The Galactic Council will personally have you disappeared if you share that information. Do not share that. We all understand? Excellent. Well, with that is the first lecture of human studies, humanology, concluded. And, yeah, I'll see you all next week. If you have any questions, you can message me. Feel free. We also have a newsletter that if you like, you can subscribe to. I also want to thank our benefactors for this class that helps fund it so you can have access to these lectures for free, which are LunarLily and DisIsJarret. And breaking character here, I realized that I messed up on some previous weeks thanking my channel members, which is LunarLily and DisIsJarret, if you guys didn't catch that. Again, special thanks to you two. I really appreciate the support. If you've watched to the end of this video, you're watching, outside of the members, just anybody watching this video, thank you for watching all the way through. If you have ideas for any other videos you want to see or you're interested in, or you have any comments, feel free. If you're not subscribed and you want to see more, please consider subscribing. It would help me out a lot. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can get my channel monetized. Anything else? Yeah, any interaction really just helps a lot. So yeah, big thank you to LunarLily and DisIsJarret. I really appreciate y'all. And yeah, I'll try to get some more videos out on like a regular schedule. I've been house sitting for a while, so I've been busy and just haven't been home, which is where all my stuff is. Also, let me know what you guys think of this setup. I don't know how I feel about this for the lecture hall background, but I was trying to find something alien. And the astute of you may have also noticed I got a haircut, and I'll be honest, I feel bonita. So, I don't know, just wanted to mention that. I have missed doing this on a regular basis. It's good to be back. Anyway, y'all take care. I appreciate you, and hopefully I'll talk to you in the comments below, or you can see me next time. Anyway, bye.